the Biden administration announced the opening of 2 temporary care facilities in Texas. That's to house unaccompanied migrant children under the age of 13. Joining me right now, one of the attorneys general leading the charge to stop the deportation freeze, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Mr. AG, great to see you again. Thanks very much for joining us. Tell us where we are right now after you did get a victory in terms of extending that stay.
So good morning. So our stay is still extended, as you said, and we will be, I think, arguing for a permanent injunction sometime in the next couple of weeks, hopefully to make sure that while we're arguing our case over the next several months, we make sure that deportations continue and that federal law is followed.
Well, a lot of people are saying that, look, the final line of defense is happening at the state level to push back on some of the aggressive executive orders that we've seen out of this new administration. Can you assess what you've seen? What's most impactful to the state of Texas?
Well, right now it's that immigration order because that directly impacts the health of our people because you have people coming across with COVID. It also affects the safety of our people because we have to deal with human trafficking and drugs and crime. And then it also impacts cost to my state. It increases education costs and transportation costs and law enforcement costs, and the list goes on. So that's probably, at least initially, the largest effect we have from any executive order.
And this order, you say, pretty much breaks the law, is against the Constitution.
Yeah, the president doesn't have the ability under the Constitution to just change what Congress put in place in federal law. And that's effectively what he's done with this executive order. He's saying, look, we have federal law that requires that the executive branch deport people who are here illegally, and I'm not going to follow that law. I'm going to make my own law which says, come across the border, we will not deport you. And the consequences of that are devastating to my state, devastating to the country. And I think you'll see as time goes on, you'll see more people flooding across the border knowing that they can come here without any consequence of being deported.
Do you think you will see other border state AGs fight back the way that you have in Texas? It's not just immigration. Look at what's going on with the Keystone controversy. 14 attorneys general pushed back on the Biden administration's executive decision to stop the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. In a new letter, they write, quote, please be aware that the states are reviewing available legal options to protect our residents and sovereign interests. In the meantime, we urge you to reconsider your decision to impose crippling economic injuries on states, communities, families, and workers across the country. Ken, you're leading the charge on this and now face opposition from Hollywood. Dozens of celebrities, Cher was one of them, Robert Downey Jr., another, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Jane Fonda wrote a letter saying this: as your administration takes action to address the climate crisis and strengthen relationships with indigenous communities, we respectfully urge you to reverse another harmful Trump administration decision and immediately shut down the Dakota Access Pipeline. You say President Biden is ignoring federal law with the Keystone shutdown, right?
We absolutely think that's going on. And in addition, there's been no measure of the consequences of this decision. Jobs are being lost. And this idea that somehow this is going to dramatically improve our climate issue, there's no proof that that's occurring. As a matter of fact, this oil and gas is going to have to be moved in other ways that are less efficient and that actually create more climate problems. And then you'll have the issue of other countries producing that don't even care about this issue. So I don't see how this Keystone pipeline shutdown has any good impact on climate change. It doesn't make any sense, and they haven't demonstrated that there's any evidence that what they're doing is going to be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you make a really important point, I think. What's safer? Having oil and gas transported in through a pipeline, which is under the water, or above land on rail cars? I mean, obviously, having it on rail cars seems incredibly dangerous to me. Look, you were the first to challenge the Biden administration's immigration orders. A Texas judge extended that moratorium on Biden's deportation freeze. Now you've got all of those attorneys general pushing back on the XL pipeline. And then there's big tech. Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, is pushing back on big tech and their dominance, wanting 230 reversed. What's your take there? Are you going to join Florida in the pushback on big tech?
Yeah, we already have. We've already filed a lawsuit against Google, which is an antitrust lawsuit. I'm certainly encouraging legislators to look at what Governor DeSantis has done in type of legislation in Texas. These big tech companies have amazing control over their internet and the marketplace, and we need to make sure that we protect our consumers and that these internet companies are more transparent about what they're doing with our private data.
What do you want to see in that regard? What is the timing on all of this?
Well, for us, we're in legislative session right now, so I'd like the legislature to start talking about these issues, debate these issues, and then pass consumer protections so that at least that consumers' data is protected, whether it's financial, whether it's their health data, whatever it is, it needs to be protected.
All right. Well, you've got the Democrats in control of the House and the Senate and the executive office, so it's up to the states. And you are certainly there pushing back on some of these executive orders and policies. Ken Paxton, we'll keep talking about it. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks, Maria.